Welcome to Marigold Consult Business Template demonstration. This video shows how you can use this inventory control template. This template can be used by small to medium-sized companies to assist them manage their inventory. And inventory plays a major role in every business. As you know, your inventory management can help you to make more profit or to make losses. And so this is a template that has been designed so simply with automation that will really manage your inventory purchases, how you sell and how much you sell, and then how to value your inventory within a period. It has 6 sheets. The first sheet has to do with data. You need to capture all your suppliers on this sheet, plus any other data that you would want to keep that relates to the inventory model. The second sheet has to do with the item list, and this is where you have to list all your items. You have the name of the company and logo embossed here nicely after you subscribe, and then you have the stock items also listed. If you have an existing data on your inventory, you can copy and paste them in this particular sheet. If you need help, Marigold has a number of professionals who can assist you put your data into proper shape so you can copy and paste them here. The other sheet is the inventory sheet, and on this sheet you would also have the opportunity to actually put in all your expiry date and then the near expiry date, and I will demonstrate all of them to you. Again, from column G going, you will be able to enter all your purchases, the items you buy from which supplier and how much you bought it. All of them can be captured on the inventory sheet. The fourth sheet has to do with the item sales, and this is where you sell the items that you keep. You also have the total receipts. Every item you sell, you're able to see the total amount per each day and then per each month also. The last sheet has to do with the inventory valuation, where you're able to value all your inventory or stocks at the end of the period, if it's weekly, monthly, or annually. So let's put in some few data to see how it works. So I'm going to type in some few suppliers just for demonstration. So I'll begin with Sam Company Limited. The second will be ABC Enterprise. Then I can have a company like Royal Palm Enterprise. Okay, so let's keep these 3 companies. You can type a number of your suppliers that you buy from. I'll go to the second sheet, which is the inventory list. Here, item codes for this particular system is very important. In fact, it is the major item that runs the whole module. And so you need to decide on getting an item code for each of your inventory lines. We have a whole template for generating item codes. And once you subscribe to this particular package, and if you want it, we can add it free of charge for you. In column B, you put in the description, and that is the description 1. Then you have description 2. You have the batch or the serial number also captured here, the cost. That is cost 1. And let me explain this point. The cost 1 has to do with when you either buy in foreign currency or you deal in different currencies. So here you put in the actual price, the exchange rate in the column G, which will convert it into the actual cost in Ghana cedis, or whichever local currency you use. Will be able to change the currency sign so you can adapt the template. And then you put in the markup in column I, which will also give you the unit price in column J. So I'm going to get item codes for some few items. I'll have a code like CCP 100. The second one can be PPK 101. I'm just typing in any code at all. You may have different codes. Okay, so these are the codes that I've generated for these items, which are, let's say, Marigold toothpaste, which has a second description, let's say 75 grams. Then I'll capture the second item, let's say local rice. let's say it's 25 kg. Then I would also have items like clean sugar, let's say 5 kg, depending upon what you're actually capturing. We can also modify this sheet for you to be able to capture all your descriptions. Now let's capture some batch numbers. If you have it, you can. So let's say I have 25 here, 78, and then 62. Okay, just any numbers at all to go. In terms of the cost, I'm assuming that I imported these items, and therefore I'm going to type in the dollar currency and then do the conversion. So let's say I bought the Marigold toothpaste at $100. It's just an assumption. Then the local rice in Ghana cedis, and so let's say it's 200 Ghana cedis. So with the clean sugar, let's say it's also a local one, and so I bought it at 50 cedis per bag. Okay, now I do my exchange rate here. Because this one is a dollar, I put in the exchange rate, let's say 6.3. For the local currency to be 1, that is the local rice, and so I have 200 there, and then the clean sugar is also a local one, so I put 1. So that is how you manage the exchange rate. If the item is an imported one, you put the foreign currency here, and then you put the exchange rate here. Now let's add the markup. Let's assume you have 20% markup on all the foreign products. Let's say the Marigold toothpaste. So it will be 1.2. Then we assume that the local ones you do, let's say 25%. So 1.25 and then 1.25. So this is again an assumption that I'm just coming up with. So I'll go to the next sheet, which is the inventory sheet. And here you see that all the items that you captured on the item list have also been automatically brought here. All you need to do is to type in the expiry date. Let's say you typed 22nd of March 2022. Once 22nd March 2022 is due, the color of the cell will turn red. And I'm going to demonstrate that. If a date here is, let's say, 1st of July 2022, so the expiry date is not due. Supposing the date that was typed here was 22nd of March 2022, which is today's date. Once the day is due, you realize that the cell will turn red. What of the near expiry? The near expiry will also turn yellow, prompting you that your product is about getting expired. And so you need to take action to either sell it off by reducing the price or adopting any strategy to get it off stock. And so if I type the same date, 22nd of March of 22, you see that it will turn yellow. So what it means is that for the local rice, for example, you may have a date of, let's say, 2nd of June of 22. And then the expiry date actually will be, let's say, 2nd of July of 22, which is 1 month period. If you have a date like this, you realize that on 22nd of June, the moment you open your file or this particular sheet, you see this cell will turn yellow, prompting you that your product is about getting expired. Then when you get to 2nd of July 2022, again, this particular cell will turn red. So you are able to see all your products that are getting expired and those that are expired. You can use the filter here. I'll talk about the filters later. You can filter the colors, let's say red, and you see that you see all your expired products. Okay, let me drop the filter. You can also filter for all your near expiry with the color, and you would also see that. And so that is how you can manage your expired product. Now let's go to the supplies. So now you have captured your items, you have captured your inventory expiry date. How do you also buy inventory? And that is what I'm going to handle now. You buy your product and you would want to enter it into the template. You come to the supplier. The supplier name, you select the name of the supplier. All right, and remember, these were the names I typed on the data sheet here. And so once you capture your suppliers here, all of them will also flow into the supplier model here. So you can drop down and select any of the supplier you're going to buy from. So let's assume that we are buying from Sam Company Limited and we are buying Marigold toothpaste. So what is the opening stock as far as the Marigold toothpaste is concerned? And that is the opening stock from the very first day you start using our template. So I'm going to keep that in. Let's say we had 500. Let's say we bought some items yesterday, which is 21st of March of 2022. You put the quantity you bought here. So let's say we're buying 100. And let's say the following day, which is 22nd of March of 2022, I also bought 50. So these are just examples. You can also continue, and all the dates that you buy items, you keep the date here and the quantity down. So as you can see, item purchases and date. So you keep the date up here, and then you keep the quantities of the items against the items here. So simple. Now let's go back. Let's select some suppliers again. Let's say on the same day we bought from ABC. We had a quantity for local rice, and that is the opening stock of, let's say, 50. Let's say 21st we didn't buy. 22nd we also bought 100 pieces of that product. And then I will pick the last one for the last supplier. It is not compulsory that you buy from all your suppliers. It is as and when you buy, you key in the data. So let's assume there wasn't any opening stock for the clean sugar. So I'll go and then key in, for example, on the same date we bought 200 bags. Let's go to the end. You see that you have your total stock, your total sales, and then your closing stock. We haven't sold any item. Currently, we have the opening stock plus the purchases we made for each of these items. So row by row, that is what you see.